I mean, some of the problems I have picked up is obviously, you know, we've done a lot of changes in the communications room, and there are some areas whereby the initial response to a call isn't right. I'm being assured by Stuart actually that we're putting a lot of that right, but it's still a real concern that members of the public, when they ring in and they don't get the response that they want, and it's something I will keep a very close eye on.
Yeah, well, as a result of our conversations previously, I set up an independent review of the communications room. And it's not just about the communications room, it's about how many people are out there to actually respond at one time, because you know, as you're more than aware than anybody, we're 24/7. So we've got to have the same capability to respond at 3 AM on a Sunday as we have at 4 o'clock on a Thursday. So the independent review has shown that there is still, response officers are still very geographically responding. So, and if you remember on the form, which is where we took out 30% of our response staff to deal with the cuts, that was based on the fact that it was a bit like the ambulance model. We would have strategically placed cops able to get to a job. Now that isn't working as well as it should, because cops are still working in the areas in which they're familiar, which is fine. We knew that should be our default state, but we need to fix that a bit. The other thing that we need to fix is communications room are tending just to focus on panda car drivers when it comes to jobs, and they should be going to neighbourhoods and crime and justice and other people. There's another issue at changeovers. The officers and communication staff aren't hooking into computers and radios as quick as they should at changeover times. So at changeover times there's a little bit of a drop in terms of how we get to jobs, and I think that's sometimes when the public get really disappointed. So I think there's quite a long snagging list that Helen Macmillan and Paul Beddoe will be dealing with. But again, I think those reassurances from Stu are valid. I'm really impressed with the openness in communications too. We recognise we've got to change. I mean, there is a risk that you've already pointed out when we move into the new communications centre. We've just got to make sure, but we're already planning for that. We've been planning for the last 2 years. So I'm confident there won't be a dip in performance, and I'm confident that this independent review of comms has highlighted the snagging list.
Good.